What is going on, everybody? How is everybody doing today? We are back here today with another NBA 2K22, kind of like a tip and trick video. Just dropped my best and worst teams to rebuild in 2K22, kind of like this style of video. If you guys enjoyed that, drop a thumbs up. Also, if you didn't see that, go watch it. It has some good advice in there. But today, I'm going to be kind of incorporating a tips and tricks on what you should do in a fantasy draft rebuild, and also rebuilding the team that I show you guys with my tips and tricks. So if you guys have been enjoying the 2K22 videos, I'd really appreciate it if you dropped a thumbs up on the video, and let me know down below anything maybe I don't mention or anything else you want to see me kind of give advice for on the channel. So we're just going to randomly select my team for the fantasy draft. I don't know which team we're even going to get. We're going to see in 3, 2, 1, and we get the Minnesota Timberwolves. All right, and I also have no idea where we're going to be drafting. So your game plan definitely goes off where you're drafting. So if you have a top 5 pick in the draft, you go best player available. You pretty much take Giannis, you take KD. I'd honestly go Luka in front of KD just because they're 11 years apart. I also like the idea of maybe going Jokic or Jason Tatum, or even looking at a Zion Williamson, maybe over Steph Curry and James Harden, just because they're a little bit up there in age, and also Joel Embiid, Anthony Davis as well. Pretty much anybody under 30 years old, and there's so many good, talented under 30-year-olds in the NBA you can get with a top 10 pick. I really wouldn't take Jimmy Butler at 15. Definitely wouldn't take Chris Paul at 16. I would much rather have Trae Young because of the 13-year difference. Wow, so it looks like we have a pretty late pick. 23. All right, so this is how the draft went so far. Donovan Mitchell would have been a fun pick. I'm surprised Aiden went in front of Mitchell because I want to go for a franchise-changing player. And I don't want to take somebody that's up there in age. I'm not taking Middleton. I wouldn't take George. I wouldn't take Gobert. Levine and Julius Randle would be more of second-round picks for me, in my opinion. Cat is interesting at this pick. I maybe would think about Karl-Anthony Towns. I like Jaylen Brown, but like I said, I want to go for that franchise-altering player, and that's not Vooch or DeRozan or Holiday. Pretty much the only guys up here that I would say fit under that category are Karl-Anthony Towns, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Ja Morant, and then maybe Fox or Murray, but probably not them. I'm going to go Ja Morant because it also helps out that he's under his rookie deal still. He has 2 more years before he's going to get that max contract, so I'm getting a top player in the league for less than $10 million a year. That's an absolute steal. That's why him and Zion are so valuable. And LaMelo Ball as well. At 20, I would do that. So Cat goes, Gobert, there's Shai, and then we pick a little bit later here. I'm guessing Levine's going to be off the board. Oh, bam. That would have been the pick. I would have absolutely loved that. And Michael Porter Jr., that's a fantastic pick because he progresses really well and he's still under that rookie contract. So did Zach LaVine go late? Oh, no. He went right after. Okay, so Zach LaVine was off the board. Imagine if I could have gotten Shai and Ja Morant, that would have been just mind-blowing. So there is a player that I also like here. Now, there's a couple guys that, if you're trying to win now, that is fine. But in the fantasy draft rebuild, I don't really need to win in year 1. I don't. And I reset everybody's draft picks, so it's not like the Thunder have all their picks. So I already went point guard. So even Ben Simmons is somebody that can play the 3 or the 4. Pretty versatile. He's under contract already. He's still young and can develop. I like Kristaps, Ingram. I noticed, I think, one player that hasn't gone yet that has star potential that I know I will not get him in the 3rd round, and that is Anthony Edwards, 20 years old, 81 overall. He's under that rookie contract for the next 3 seasons, which is amazing, and that would kind of lead me to get some cap space, which a lot of these teams won't have at the end of year 1, because they're going to take the Bogdan Bogdanoviches and the Fred VanVleets, and they're going to just not have cap space at all. But I might look for that one max guy eventually that could be in the 3rd round, but right now I'm getting a backcourt that are still under their rookie deals in Ja Morant and Anthony Edwards, so you know I'm going after a big free agent at the end of year 1. So yeah, we don't pick for a fat minute here. Oh, Cade goes in the 3rd. That's somebody, if you don't have your point guard yet, even though point guard's the deepest position, look at Cade if you have an early 3rd round pick, because that is an absolute steal, because you know he's going to develop so well in this game. That makes me think, oh, Jalen Green probably didn't go yet. Yeah, Jalen Green. Oh, no, he did. He goes in front of Cade. Interesting, and the Pistons took him. So I wouldn't mind taking a high salary here, but there's really nobody that I like at the top. A lot of good point guards. See, that's why you can maybe wait on the Ja Morant pick. That's why if you can land a Jason Tatum or Devin Booker or Donovan Mitchell, you gotta go that in round 1. Because it definitely drops off with some of the wings and the bigs. So I'm actually gonna go Jonathan Isaac here in the 3rd round. He's making $17 million a year. Not honestly that much at all. He's gonna provide some great defense for me, and he's definitely a tradable asset. He's still only 24 years old. Love that pick there. James Wiseman would have been amazing. Unfortunately, he does go. So I'm going to go with Robert Williams here in the 4th round. He's still only 24 years old. He's a good rebounding center. His contract will increase, but it's only around $10 million a year, which isn't that bad. James Wiseman would have been like my favorite picker, even Isaiah Stewart there, but unfortunately they both went. I guess I could technically look at like Onyeka Okongwu, who's a 74 overall, but I might go Robert Williams because he's a 79 and he's a little bit better at the moment. So I'm going to go Robert Williams, and like Jonathan Isaac, it's a very tradable asset. So we do have that late 5th round pick, and a lot of good players are off the board. So now I could look for some veterans that have tradable assets, or excuse me, tradable contracts. Maxey just goes. Maxey would have been amazing. Oh, that's such a high potential guy to come off the bench. But I'm going to go for another high potential guy, Alperen Sengun. So that's why if Robert Williams doesn't work out, I have him in the wing. And if Robert Williams works out, I could trade him. So I'm fine there. I'm going to take Sengun, and he's going to be, I guess, our first bench player. So I'm going to look for particularly a wing. Ooh, Okoro. You know I love to go with the young guys because they're cheap and they have such good trade value. But I'm going to go with Kelly Oubre here. 2-year, $12 million, not that expensive at all. Like Isaac and Williams, I can easily trade it, and he's still only 25, so he can continue to get better. And then we have an early pick on the way back, where I'm going to look at another point guard particularly. Oh no, okay, we don't have that pick on the way back. I was wrong. So I'm looking at a point guard. It could be a young one. Saben Lee, don't know if I want to target Saben Lee here. If we sort this by age, like Killian Hayes is here. It sucks that Killian Hayes just starts off at a 71 overall. Surprised Nico Mannion's here when he's not playing in the NBA next year. So I'm actually going to go Moses Moody, the young wing that went 14th to the Warriors. Now we do pick on the way back, so I'm probably going to take Killian Hayes here. Or you could go Cairo Lewis, and actually Lewis is $2 million cheaper, or just under $2 million. You know what, I'm going to go Lewis for that reason. I'm going to save all the money I can because I want that max slot in the 2022 free agency. 9th round, it's pretty much who you like here. I wouldn't really lock into any long-term deals like an Alex Caruso, but it's easily tradable, and fantasy draft rebuilds aren't realistic. So I'm just going to particularly look at some wing depth, and we could get Grayson Allen, who will be a free agent, so I don't really want to do that. Luke Kennard's making a little bit too much money for me. So I'm going to go Josh Christopher. So we have Josh Christopher and Alperen Sengun, 2 first-round picks for the Rockets. So we pick right again. I wouldn't mind maybe actually going Caruso because I could trade him on draft night and I lock in at only $8.6 million. You know what, we'll do that. But he's probably a prime trade candidate. Actually, he is a prime trade candidate to get traded in the 2022 draft or during it. And that's also going to be Reggie Bullock as well. He's going to most likely be traded during the 2022 draft. And then I could just take some young guys here like BJ Boston, Santi Aldama. Why not? And I'm just going to wrap it out with some bench guys like Gorgie Zhang. And then the last round, I'm just going to take like the youngest player with the most potential. So it could be Miles McBride, could be Isaiah Todd, BJ Boston, Greg Brown. I'm going to go with Isaiah Todd. So yeah, if we look at the roster, we have a mix of young guys and older guys, but really on the younger side. And I think that's what I recommend going with in fantasy drafts because they have good trade value. And if you can get as many of these rookies, like if we go into the trade finder, like Alperen Sengun and like Moses Moody, you could see their trade value 3 stars. Like that's amazing. Like I could already pull this trade off and get Bam Adebayo. But I'm not going to look to do anything major until the offseason. I want to see how our record pans out this year. They want to go Ja, Edwards, Oubre, Isaac, Williams. That's fine. Caruso. I don't really want to play Caruso, Zhang, or Reggie Bullock that many minutes at all because I'd rather give minutes to Lewis and Moody and Sengun. So like Bullock's not even going to play. Caruso, I don't even think I'm going to play him either because their contracts will still be tradable in the offseason because 2K will trade for anybody. So you got to take advantage of that. And I'm going to play Josh Christopher. So Isaiah Todd's the only young guy that will not be getting minutes for me next year. Right now we are the Timberwolves, so Chris Finch is our head coach. We are 4 stars, 7 seconds or less. It's going to be pretty nice. And make sure to go in here and shot tendencies to make sure, like, yeah, you can increase Ja to 90. He can be getting the most shots on the team. Edwards, we can get to an 88. Like, Isaac at a 55. No, let's get him up to a 70. Oubre, he can be like a 68. Sengun, yeah, that's fine. Like, why is Moses Moody a shot tendency at a 35? He's never going to shoot the ball. So let's get that up to like a 60. Same with Cairo Lewis, and we're chilling there. I'll see you guys at the end of the year. I don't expect to be very good. We'll just see how we do. All right, so we made the playoffs. It's not the end of the world. I think if you go the route that I went and you have a primarily based young team, you would want to not make the playoffs, land a top pick in the draft because it can only help. But we do have the assets to move up. I'm guessing we're going to be 15 or 16 to get into that top 8. We are in the play-in tournament though, so we could end up getting a lottery pick. So maybe fingers crossed we lose. I don't know. But it doesn't really matter too much. Pick 14 or 16, not the end of the world. They want to play Ja. Wow, 42 minutes. I mean, he was incredible throughout the regular season. Anthony Edwards, like, this is the backcourt we can build around, and neither of them are making a max contract. Like, Edwards still has another year, and another one. He actually has 2 more years. Ja Morant has 1 more year before he's a free agent. You can see that we have Oubre, who I think is a perfect trade candidate on draft night. Isaac, I don't think I really need to move him. I still think we can go out and get a big free agent. Even with Robert Williams as well, who averaged 11 rebounds, a block and a half, and a steal and a half. He is very underrated in 2K22. And then you have Moody and Sengun, who weren't great because they were rookies, but they're going to develop, or they have great trade value. Same with Aldama, Lewis, Christopher, etc. And then do we see morale increase? We do not, or excuse me, an overall increase. Maybe we just don't see that at all yet. Actually, there is one over here with James Harden and Jeff Green. Okay, so let's see. Do we knock off the Sacramento Kings? We end up winning. So yeah, okay, we ended up as the 17. All right, it is what it is. Who went off? Wow, we only won by 1 point. Anthony Edwards dropped 32, shot 31. They combined it for 63 points. It's absurd. So we could pull off the upset on the Dallas Mavericks. They have Ben Simmons, Dante DiVincenzo, Kawhi Leonard. Wow, that's a very good defensive trio. Thad Young and Gibson, a very old front court. Melo, Rudy Gay. Wow, very old team. So let's see, do we knock off that Dallas Mavericks team and moving on to round 2? So we are, oh, wow, we pushed the 2 seed to 7 games and we're only gonna get better. So I'm not worried at all. I think I built this team perfectly for the future. We still have our backcourt, so we're looking to maybe add an all-star small forward, preferably in free agency, as we ended up losing to the team that won it all. But back what I was saying, we could also look at a center, or we could also look at a shooting guard and move Edwards to the 3. That's an option. Or a power forward and move Isaac to the 3 as well. I'm pretty much just looking for any 3, 4, or 5. And it's the draft lottery time. We are going to be picking probably at like 16 or 17. It's actually at 19. Not the best though. So I'm fine with our head coach. You pretty much, if you want a young team like I have, you just want a 7 seconds or less guy. We also have like 8 million to get some of these guys here in free agency. So I'm adding a guard guru and a shot doctor. All right, so it's the NBA draft time and we definitely have assets to move up. Like we could target a potential deal centered around like Kelly Oubre, Alex Caruso. Actually, before Caruso, I'd rather move Bullock. Yeah, Oubre, Bullock in 19. I want to see if this can get me pick 8. This is on 50 simulated trade difficulty. Will it get me pick 8? It will. Boom, there we go. And then I'm not done yet. I want to see if I can maybe package pick 8, pick 46, and Alex Caruso for pick 4. I don't know if they're going to agree to this. They do not, so we're going to target pick 5. And will the Clippers do this? We have to add an exception, and they counter 2023 first for Steven Adams. I don't really want that, so we're gonna look at pick, what is this, 5 now? Or excuse me, pick 6. We're moving up 2 spots. It's worth it though. So we have the 6th pick in the draft. Let's see who I'm gonna take. I'm not gonna really trade up. Now we do have like maybe some assets to move. Like we could move Santi Aldama, like 3rd string center. I mean, we could technically move up with that, but like I doubt, yeah, like I'm getting picked 2 for Aldama and 6. So I'm just gonna stay there and we'll see who's on the board. And I feel like for a fantasy draft, you just go best player available. So if we sort it by Draft Express rank, it's Caleb Houston, Kennedy Chandler by 2K, and NBA.com it's Kennedy Chandler. So it's saying that I should go Kennedy Chandler. I'll go Kennedy Chandler. The 5 picks before me were Holmgren, Banchero, Jovic, Hardy, and Baldwin Jr. So we're gonna sign Kennedy Chandler. He could be in a trade. We could use him as a backup point guard if I end up moving, I don't know, Kyra Lewis. So we'll figure that out. Picking up the options on Ja, Edwards, and Kyra Lewis. See, Harden's a free agent. Bradley Beal's a free agent. That's what I wanna see. Not a lot of teams are gonna have cap space, but it's gonna say that they will. So yeah, there's a ton of free agents out there. And we need to clear up 3.67 mil to get Harden. We could afford Bradley Beal right now. He has no offer. So at the end of the day, I'm getting Bradley Beal. And I could trade Bradley Beal, and I think that's the way to go, is have that max free agency spot open in the year 1 free agency in 2022. So I'm still going to make an attempt to get Harden, which means I would have to trade one of these guys. You know what, though? I'm probably going to just take Bradley Beal. Let's sign him right now. Player option. Let's give him the most I can. And then we're just going to either look to move him, because I could just move Edwards to the 3. We could do that. So let's sign Bradley Beal right now. Let's go through this. And then we would have a mid-level exception, maybe steal a guy on the last day. So right now, I would move Edwards to the 3. He actually grew to 6'6". We'll see if 2K ever updates that. I mean, I'll look at potential Bradley Beal moves. Like if I threw Bradley Beal up there with Kyra Lewis and Santi Aldama, I can get Zach LaVine and Onyeka Okongwu, Scotty Barnes and RJ Barrett. Shout out to someone that's from Canada and plays in Canada. Baldwin and Bam. AD! Oh boy, AD is so tradable in 2K22 because he came up in the 82-0 challenge. That is by far the best deal. Kyrie, also tradable. Wow. AD is very tempting. Because I could move Isaac to the 3, or I could even move AD to the 5. That is very nice. So yeah, I'm actually gonna go back to the Lakers here and see what it would look like. So I would have to throw in those guys, or will that trade actually come up? Wow, Josh Christopher and Bradley Beal will get me Anthony Davis. Yeah, I think everybody should do that. If you get the opportunity to get AD, you do it. So it's gonna make me move Isaac to the 3. Now, if we want an upgrade with Robert Williams, we could definitely figure something out. Like if I threw up Roger Williams, the college, right? Robert Williams, Santi Aldama, and Kyra Lewis. Could I get any upgrade at center? I'm not really seeing much. I forgot that this is a fantasy draft. Was AD on the, no, I don't think he was on the Lakers, because I was literally looking for AD and the Lakers, but I forgot this is a fantasy draft, so I'm not seeing anything specific there. Yeah, AD was on the Heat. So if I'm gonna go do player finder here and we look at maybe potential centers, I mean, Karl Anthony Towns would be the top of my list. So I would throw in Robert Williams. I would also throw in Kyra Lewis. So how much are we off? 14 mil. Ooh, this would be tough to get done. Yeah, if I don't want to move Isaac. So even if I throw in Moody, 10 mil, I might have to sign somebody in free agency to get this done. Probably. Or we can go to like plan B and get Clint Capella, which is doable. So I'm gonna wait till the end of free agency and see if I could sign somebody. So it's day 12, and let's see. They really gotta remove this G League thing. Like, could I snag Eric Mobamba? Let's see. The most I can offer him is 4 points. Oh, wow. So the most I can offer somebody is 4.61 mil. Like Tristan Thompson, you'll accept that, right? Okay, so we can throw him in a trade. Because I really don't want to give up Jonathan Isaac. I think he would be a crucial part to our defense. So if we tried Robert Williams, I might have to do Kennedy Chandler. I don't know. So let's do Thompson. Let's do Lewis, and let's do, I don't want to do Moody, but does Moody even get me? No, Moody doesn't even get me there. That's tough. So I think we're out on Cat, even though Cat would be so perfect on this team. Next up, I'm going to try Bam, though. Bam might be tough to get as well. He might be, actually, I think he's making a little bit less than Cat. Let's try it. If only I could give Robert Williams, like, a new contract extension. He has 6 mil. I'm currently off, so I would throw in, like, this. Like, if I throw in Aldama, it gets me there. I just feel like giving up Moses Moody's a lot. So would you give me maybe your first round pick next year? Please? Please? Okay, they agreed to that. So I get Bam Adebayo. I get their first round pick next year. Giving up Moses Moody hurt a little bit. Oh, I kind of depleted my team. We have 1, 2, 3. Oh, or is this my summer league? No, this is my team. I have 1, 2, 3. Okay, 4, 5, 6. So that was maybe not a good idea, but you can learn from me, right? Maybe don't really mortgage your whole team. So I have 3. Wow, I don't even have that 9th man in the rotation. I have like my 6th, 7th, 8th. But the starting 5 is so good. It really is, with Ja, Edwards, Isaac, Davis, and Bam. That's really good. And that's maybe all I will need. So 2K probably signed me a bunch of guys like Bembry, Lee, House. And what you can do is go to Trade Finder and then just select like 3 of them. Because I don't mind Todd being like in the rotation. And I could probably find like a 76 in Rubio, 76 in Jaden McDaniels. I could get behind that. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to do that. And we also have that Clippers pick at the end of the year. So 2K comes up with Morant, Edwards, Isaac, Davis, Bam, with Chandler, McDaniels, Sengun, and Lyles off the bench. I'm going to play Isaiah Todd over Trey Lyles. And then that's good with me. If we take a look at Chris Finch's 7 seconds or less, we can see that it's at 4 stars. What would defense be at? It'd be at 3.5. Okay, Edwards and Ja aren't great. So we're going to keep it with 7 seconds or less. I'll see you guys at the end of the year. And I think we're finals favorites just in year 2. And we have such a good future with Ja, Chandler, Edwards, Isaac, Bam. We have that Clippers first round pick. I think this is how you build a fantasy draft team. So we end up as the 1 seed in the Western Conference, just like that in year 2. And we'd be set up to be the 1 seed for the next 5 seasons. We have the winner of this game here, so no, I don't want to simulate the playoffs. Okay, let's see who we're facing in round 1. It is the OKC Thunder. They got Trey and Sexton. Shout out to the 2018 point guard class. Couple foreign forwards in Nikola Jovic and Sekou Nuboyan. They got Claxton, Wiggins, Lou Dort, Baisley, and Kuzma. Shout out to the Canada Wings off the bench. We take a look at the standings, or excuse me, the statistics. We can see John Edwards led the way with 25 apiece. There's Bam, Adebayo, or excuse me, AD, and then Bam, and then Kennedy Chandler, who's just so good already as a rookie. Efficiency was all right, nothing crazy. Isaac, Sengun, McDaniels, and Todd. So I'm sure round 1 won't be an issue. Am I right? 2-0, 3-0, boom, sweep them just like that. And we got the Warriors here in round 2. They got Cole, CJ Hunter. Okay, I was gonna say their team's not that good, but they got Kevin Durant back in Golden State. It seems not that good outside of KD, so I think we should be fine. Game 1 we win. Game 2 we lose. Game 3 we win. Just win game 4. Yes, okay, we're up 3-1 and we should win. All right, just winning 6. Thank you. Moving on to the conference finals. Here are the playoff stats. It's just Edwards and Morant. Just get that backcourt duo for the future. 23 and 21 years old. We're sitting pretty. And then finally, we got the Spurs here in the Western Conference. They have a solid team. I mean, like the Warriors, it's not that good. It's Harden, and then it's just like all right around them. So I think we should be okay beating them and going to the finals. Game 1, we win. Game 2, we win. Game 3, all right, yeah, just like that, we're going to sweep them and go to the finals, where we're meeting the 5-seeded Brooklyn Nets. Let's see. Oh my God, I see a 79, 79, 75. They have Giannis and Jared Allen. That's pretty good. They got Carter Jr. They have 3 80-pluses on the team. Look at the team that I was able to build. A 90 and 86, 91, 86, 82, 93, 87. That's 4 85-pluses, 2 90s. Wow. And then, do we have any 80s off the bench? We do not. It is nice that the kind of overalls and progression is lower this year. We do win game 1. We win game 2. We win game 3. And ladies and gentlemen, that is how you draft a fantasy draft team and win it all in year 2. And have a 23-year-old finals MVP and would be sitting pretty as the finals favorite for the next 5 years, because then you can look to move AD in like 2 years. I mean, in 5 years, Bam's 30, Edwards is only 26, Ja's 28, Isaac is 30 as well. Like, you're chilling. And then you got McDaniels, Chandler, Şengün, who would all be like between 24 to 27. So yeah, that is how you build a fantasy draft team. If you guys did enjoy and learn something, please drop a thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. I love you guys. Subscribe for more NBA 2K22 content, and I'll see y'all on the next one. Peace.